Today I want to share with you something that I've already shared with the staff of Grace Harbor Church and School, and I also shared it as a sermon illustration because it was such an impactful thing with me. And the verse I'd like to refer to is Psalm 55:6, and it says this, and you'll see later in the story I'm going to share with you why I chose this particular verse. Psalm 55:6 says, I said, "Oh, that I had wings like a dove. I would fly away and be at peace," or be at rest. Recently, I had a dove encounter that needs to be shared. After a road trip, an exhausting road trip, I might add, and I was coming home alone, I stopped for a break and an extra large iced tea. I was stressing on this particular day, and you know how it is when everything is bothering you. I was noticing that the Carl's employee was missing trash as they went through the motions of parking lot cleanup duty. I also noticed that the litter between the planter and the stem wall was piling up behind the chain link fence. It was kind of like there was this no man's land where nobody cleaned or gardened, and the city or the county wasn't taking care of it. The mess, and neither was Caltrans, and neither was the restaurant. To clean this area where the entropy was accelerating so fast, it would take hours and more than one very large lawn bag. So now you feel my mood. Here's what happens though. Enter the dove. He flutters down, obviously oblivious to my issues, and he's foraging, gleefully picking away at all of the mess and getting morsels of whatever. I would have been happier had he flown down and seen the mess and then flied off in a huff. But no, this dove, head bobbing maniacally at the mess, getting morsels of whatever, it was bothering me, the dove making the best of it, and making the very most of an ugly situation. To add to my consternation, the dove was joined by a darting lizard doing the push-ups on the hot concrete, and a crazy squirrel up and down a palm tree, all seemingly cooperating and happy with each other, not at all concerned about my concerns. I started appreciating the scene, and the illustration was about my obsession with detail, and it was actually blocking my enjoyment of both a finer and a bigger perspective that was being illustrated for me within nature. And that was to make the best of every situation. You see, we live in a fallen world. It's a cluttered, broken, and messy place. But we should stop and smell the roses. See the dove, see the lizard and the squirrel, and see the beauty within the chaos and the turmoil. Perhaps to straighten up the attitude is the first order, and not be so obsessed with the mess. The lesson of the dove was learned for me, and so I did not fly, but I drove home in peace and rested with a bit of a certain smile, realizing that God saw me and showed me a bigger perspective. And so I just simply say, thank you, God.